My name is Lauren Gio, and I'm going to discuss how there should be prayer in schools every morning to start the day. Imagine every school morning in the country, students bow their heads and they pray. Christians, Muslims, Jews, atheists, they all do what they're accustomed to. They're praying how they feel to whomever they feel, or they can choose to sit silent and respect the people around them. Today, I will persuade you that prayer needs to be a daily practice in schools across the country. Everyone in this country believes in something. Whether they believe in Jesus Christ, John Smith, Buddha, or choose to believe in the freedom of choice, we live in a country where our freedoms should be practiced in unity. So why not practice our religious freedom every morning before we start our day? According to AmericanVision.org, all worldviews are belief systems. So no matter what you believe in something. You can believe in yourself, you can believe in science, you can believe in God, you can believe in Buddha. Whatever you believe in something. When I was growing up, every morning started with a moment of silence. Everyone bowed their heads, everyone closed their eyes, and everyone said a prayer that meant something to them. They could be praying to themselves, encouraging themselves to do good throughout the day. They could be praying to God to help them throughout the day. They could be sitting there looking at someone else, thinking that, maybe they can help them throughout the day. They didn't necessarily all pray, but the ones who chose to sit silently learned to respect the other people that did choose to pray. And I grew up with that. But whenever I entered high school, all of that was taken away. We didn't have a moment of silence anymore. We started our day with whatever math problem the teacher chose to put on the board. I was raised in a Christian home. My dad is a pastor, and I was raised to start your day with prayer. But whenever I got to high school, that was taken away from me. If I bowed my head in class, the teacher told me I needed to look up and pay attention. When you enter high school, that's a time in your life whenever you need encouragement the most. So if you can encourage yourself by praying, then why don't we allow it? Now we're going to look at the problem of not having prayer in schools and the reasons that it really should be brought back. Prayer in schools is not illegal, but it has been taken out of schools because officials are so afraid of offending someone. They're afraid if we let this Christian person over here pray, then this atheist in the corner is going to get their feelings hurt. How about instead of taking prayer away because we're afraid of offending someone, how about we teach our kids to respect one another and respect each other's differences? Many things in our country went downhill after official prayer in schools was taken away in 1963. According to InPlainSight.org, after 1963, teen pregnancy has increased to 553%. Divorce rates increased 300% each year. Single-parent families with children are up 160%. SAT and ACT scores decreased. Violent crime increased 544%, and so much more. So, whether you believe in God, Buddha, or you choose to believe in yourself, prayer is something that is important to most Americans. And I believe that it should be brought back every morning to start the day. Honestly, I believe the solution is very simple. Bring prayer back. If prayer is brought back into schools, the divorce rates are going to decrease. The teen pregnancies are going to decrease. Violent crime is going to decrease. Drug use is going to decrease. You're not going to have to worry so much about your 14-year-old daughter coming home and saying, "Mom, I'm pregnant." You're not going to have to worry about your 17-year-old committing suicide because they get depressed. You're not going to have to worry about your husband, committing murder. It's when you bring prayer back to schools, a lot of the bad things go away. And I know a lot of people think that prayer isn't really this important, but when we had prayer in schools, America wasn't this bad. There weren't as many young girls coming home having to tell their parents they were pregnant. There weren't as many people in jail cells. There weren't as many people using drugs. Whenever we had prayer in our schools, things were a lot better. If we allow this country to continue school without prayer, our crime, drug use, teen pregnancy, and so much more is only going to get worse. But if we allow prayer back into schools, our children will build a community with one another that will unite us as a nation. If we allow our children to go into schools and pray as they feel led, and teach them to respect others who don't believe the same way that they do, we're raising our children to grow up with that sense of, hey, you may be different from me, but I'm going to respect you. And our children can grow up and they can unite themselves and they can form a community that respects one another. And then we can release them into this world knowing that we did something right and that they respect the people around them no matter what they believe. If you want to help change this, you can go to your local principal and you can talk to them about having a moment of silence in your school. Prayer is not illegal in schools. It is just discouraged because people are afraid of offending someone. All your principal has to do is have 30 seconds of silence in the mornings where people are allowed to pray as they feel led. After each student started their day with prayer, they went through the day with hope that they could change something that day. And one day, that child who had hope throughout the day because they prayed, they changed America for the better. And they set us in a new path that would change lives forever. All because of one little thing that people find insignificant called prayer.